huge deficit. That is two 2-0s worth of deficit for them to actually overcome. But it's possible. RPG, their matchups for the last couple of weeks, yeah, they have SPT, but they've shown they can at least get 1 point from that matchup. And RPG, though, taking beyond the game to the Infernal Shrines.
Petra, isn't it incredible to see how RPG picked a map where they obviously don't seem to be feeling that comfortable? Like, they picked Sky Temple, negative win ratio. They now picked Infernal Shrines, even more negative win ratio.
Most of their maps are negative win ratio after the season. They have not performed too well.
Alright. They did it in the last game, and they can do it again. I would love to see a very similar draft, by the way, and I want to see another Stitches. Like, at this point, I want them to play Stitches until they lose. I don't want Wang to go for anything else, because he looked godlike on that Stitches too.
Very true. Let's see if let's see what we see from it. As for now, RPG need a ban. The Uther was banned out this time again. Consistent bans on that Paladin of the Light.
Get rid of the Ariel here, easy peasy.
Yeah, I'd be down for it. I mean, they were up against a Lunara last game and it didn't seem to affect them too much, so remove an extra empowerment for it and try and deal with it again.
Cheeky Kalaris here, saying things I'm not allowed to say on stream, but still very funny.
To say it.
I mean, we could probably say it, but
it's all about inflection of how you say it. if we say if Wang picked Muradin, we go, let's go Wang, pull out your big hammer, is fine. But if we just change the inflection, let's go Wang, pull out your big hammer, that becomes very borderline acceptable.
Twitch chat will always make it borderline, no matter how you pronounce it and stress it, though. But I'm pretty sure you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. I mean, Wang is just built to be the community favorite with that nickname. I'm not even sure if he knows the English meaning of it. I'm not sure how.
I'm sure they.
Or maybe he did it on purpose.
Sure someone's made the joke every now and again. It's like, haha, it's like a lull in Twitch chat where someone will immediately go, "Oh, in Dutch that means whatever." Someone will have told him, and I doubt he cares. It's just a standard name.
Did you know that lol, like the emote lol, L-U-L, means something very naughty in Dutch? I'm not even kidding.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a joke I made.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen.
ETC as the first pick. Once again, denying that to Wang, but is that the best idea? Because we could see Wang, once again, just left for last. We know he's got a really solid Muradin, really good Stitches. Can just leave to whatever he wants. Stitches actually would be really good here. Slam build is great on this map.
It is. It really is. You could even go for Future Pal if you don't want to go the Gorge route again and just provide massive zoning, massive shrine control. It is just such a wonderful heroic ability to pick. As it is, though, you know, Chickens the Hawk, I think we didn't give him enough credit. He, as you said, was very patient in that last game. Didn't really pull the trigger too early. Didn't arrive too early, but came in time. And that oftentimes kept them in the game, I feel. Because without Chickens the Haka, they would have lost track of XP so much more. Because the early team fights didn't really go so well for them. So, going for those comfort picks, I like it.
I like it too. So, really solid. As much as I would love to see more Karazim, Rhaegar just has far better shrine clear potential, like you said. So, this is fine. BTG. What else do they want here? They already have ETC. They aren't able to pick Uther, and supports are starting to become limited. They still have plenty of options. I wouldn't mind a Stukov. Stukov on this map can gain so much value. They pick at a very early Lucio and Lunara. That's interesting.
Yeah, Lucio normally being picked as a reaction to certain AoE heroes or AoE damaging abilities like the Malthael. Sometimes like Kel'Thas, or maybe in the future against Kel'Thuzad, because that guy puts out a lot of AoE damage as well if left unattended. But picking him as an active support as a second pick is quite rare. So they must have a plan in mind. Yeah, banning the Malthael makes a lot of sense. They could actually try to
pick it now with Lucio here, so this might have been a bait by BTG to say, if we pick this, you're not going to pick Malthael, so we can. So that it would be a solid, sensible ban, but once again, this could be multiple levels of mind game here, and BTG are like, we never wanted that to begin with, you fools!
But yeah, I think you have a very good point there. I think picking the counter early to a certain hero basically paves the way to pick it yourselves. I think that's a very good rule we can basically keep track of here in those drafts. Very nice tactics and strategies. Now, what are they going to ban here? I think there's nothing really giving away. Nothing is really giving away here from the draft by RPG. It's very standard, very neutral. Tassadar can't go wrong with that. I mean, there's still the possibility of a Vala being locked in. And we all saw how deadly Loktar was in that hero last game.
We did indeed, so we will have to keep an eye on it. So, Assassins. Valor went spectacularly last game, but with Tassadar removed, it's still an acceptable pick for RPG here. They already have a Chicken hero, they already have a Sar hero, Infinity, Wang,
you know what?
And Loktar.
I'm gonna drop this Tetra. Chromie Temper Loop against Lucio.
Yes. Quite frankly, that is my reply.
Because
I would be
think
down
about
for
it. Are there any supports left that are kind of popular in China and are kind of competitive that do have cleanse? Only Brightwing, really. Yeah.
Yeah, just Brightwing. Yeah, that's the only one that would be an option. We already have... That's still possible. They have double tank. Greymane is good for burst damage follow-up onto that temporal loop. Question of whether they still feel comfortable enough to pick Chromie. And also what else we see from BTG. Material could be... is going to be for Wang here, as we already know Chicken will be on that Dahaka.
I just can't believe they didn't go Stitches either. Like, Stitches against Lucio and Lunara would have been so good. If you get that Lucio, he's gone. Poof, just gone to waste. The Tyrael isn't bad either, don't get me wrong. Like, he offers a lot of additional protection, as you said, against Lunara's poison. Can go for those beautiful holy grounds later on in those choke points near the shrines, but I just can't help but feel that Stitches, man, he would have been the go-to.
Maybe Zarya and the Sonya, so that's kind of a cleanse. But that is a very shrine fight heavy composition from BTG. So RPG, there's very few shield burners left who they could actually pick. Morales could be one of them if they wanted to go double support with the grenade shield removal. But that could actually be can actually be very counterintuitive.
Twin Blade Varian is still available, you know.
But that would make them in basically quintuple melee.
Wouldn't hate it. It's Varian after all. You can split the sword. You can look good.
If they wanted to take a page out of CE's book, they could go and mind control Sylvanas and just mind control Lucio every time.
It happened. It happened last phase, and it worked out like a charm.
And it worked. Although RPG have never picked Sylvanas. In fact, very few Chinese teams have, to be fair, just really CE.
Yeah.
So...
ooh, that's an interesting one.
Horrify is good. No cleanse again.
I was going to say, I don't hate it, and Gul'dan is normally very susceptible to any form of hard engage, right? But with the exception of ETC, who could go for a stage dive, there isn't really much there. And for Sonny to go leap, that's a big commitment. Just to shut down Gul'dan potentially, I don't think it's worth the risk.
Sanctification is a counter to it. Yeah, we've seen in the past Sylvanas getting countered in a very similar way. Difference is Sylvanas has silence, whereas Gul'dan has a fear. So if they do try to dive and they don't instantly blow up Gul'dan, he will survive.
Yeah, so we see a little bit of a different playstyle here. I'm just a little bit worried for Beyond the Game here, to be honest. I think they're trying to make too many things happen in their draft at the same time. They want to have a little bit of hard engage, they want to have a little bit of poking with Lunara, but normally you have to sort of commit to one battle plan, right? If you're going for too many things at the same time, you're running the risk of not making anything work at all.
Very true. Very true. The simplest strategy is oftentimes the best. So, overall, I do like RPG's draft a little bit better. It's got good siege and very good disengage. The lack of cleanse, Lucio, I don't think as a solo healer, even with Zarya to help, is enough. So I am definitely on the side of RPG.
Keep going, keep going.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for game number 2, our final game of the day of HG China. It is RPG versus Beyond the Game. right, ladies and gentlemen, sporting on the left-hand side, it is going to be RPG with Chicken on Dahaka, Wang on Tyrael, Sar on Rhaegar, Infinity on Gul'dan, and Loktar is playing the Greymane.
And with their backs against the wall right now, BTG Beyond the Game, being represented by Sonya, played by A619 on the ETC, ZJZ on the Zarya, MJ on the Lucio, and last but not least, we had ST here on the Lunara.
So, level 1 talents, fairly normal. Pretty much everything's actually fairly standard other than Feel the Heat. We see that every now and again. And it is the Poison from Gul'dan, not going for the Fell Flame talent.
Yeah, going for the Echoed Corruption here, providing more poke, which is awesome in my opinion. Against Lucio, who's kind of dependent on his Amped Up cooldown, and we saw some cheeky Zarya play, nothing new here at this point, just running into the towers with the shields raised, and making sure that she gets a nice chunk of bonus energy to start things off. Also, Feel the Heat, by the way, guys, is the talent that paved the way to a new HGC record last weekend in NA. We saw Roll20 take it in 5 minutes and 12 seconds against Gale Force Esports. What a pleasure.
It was a pleasure indeed, and very cool to see now that race is on to crack it again. And that, I believe that's actually the first world record we have seen, first world record attempt that we've seen that did not involve a Sylvanas.
Yeah, I think that's true. In the previous games in China, actually, we held this record, but unfortunately CE got beaten.
Before that, Fnatic.
Yep.
It's always been a Sylvanas hero, and Lucio trying to chase down #1 player killer hero Lucio, looking to kill but not able to get it. Not enough damage yet.
Not enough damage, and starting to get a little bit worried here for BTG. I think they need to apply a lot of pressure on multiple lanes, but they take so long to destroy those towers, despite the fact there was only a Gul'dan and a Rhaegar to really defend against that.
There's also the whole thing of, is anyone actually ever going to deal with top? Like, Sylvanas is... Not Sylvanas, Sonya is just losing, quite frankly. She's against a support... sorry, not a support. She's against two of the most high, quick push heroes. Greymane in terms of structure killing and Dahaka in terms of minion clearing. So overall, XP is actually relatively even, but top lane is now very vulnerable. Luckily, the Shrine is going to be in the bot lane, which is actually much better for BTG, as this is the lane that they cleared up first. Yeah,
Wang also going for a very aggressive Tyrael build here, going for the Smite at level 1, providing more damage to his E. And that's going to be very important, I think, because when you have Dahaka next to you, you're already having someone who can absorb a lot of damage. Tyrael, they need a little bit more damage in general, especially if you consider Lucio being kind of weak against burst damage, right? Unless he gains access to that sound barrier.
Very true. Until that sound barrier is available, Lucio is very vulnerable. Why it is, like you said, down to Zarya to keep on top. Once again, go for the block talent, by the way, trying to protect herself from that Greymane damage. Wang, very, very deep here.
Oh, they get the kill though. Lucio falls victim to that onslaught provided by RPG, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Lucio is a liability when it comes to protecting himself or allies against early focus damage. Now, they're not done just yet. They're not satisfied. They want to get more. ZJZ is about to fall. 2, 3, make it a triple, baby. Make it a quaddy. And here we go. RPG in full swing, full battle mode.
They get 3 kills here. Lucio has just... Sorry, they got 4, but Lucio has just respawned. ETZ is like, yeah, I'm good, and has left to go and grab a fountain and prepare to defend this lane as the Punisher is captured. Frost Punisher, and it is an early game one, so it's not going to get too much. However, with Gul'dan here, the more people you send to defend, the worse your late game's going to be, because Gul'dan just gets more stacks.
Alright, RPG is channeling their energy. They're charging up with that Mighty Punisher at their side. They can pretty much allow for those aggressive play. ETC solo. But the main tank can't hold the front line and gets stunned by the Punisher again. You're in trouble.
619 is just been so low this entire time. He's finally able to clear out the Punisher, but the fort went down. As long as Lockdown doesn't die here, gets a speed boost. Poison drops to give Infinity some more stacks. But overall, that worked out very, very nicely. Sonya trying to get some recovery here by clearing out the minions, clearing the waves. A full port back, basically, by RPG. We also do see, by the way, the extra percentage ability power, the extra ability power damage coming in from Gul'dan.
Yeah, very cool to see. So Gul'dan trying to go for full burst mode, full damage mode. And I think it's safe to do so because he's not really dependent on his support's healing too much anyway. And at least not when it comes to, you know, sustained healing because he has his life drain, he has the healing totem. So, oh my god, Lucio again. MJ, you can't go deep like that, bro.
Yep, MJ. Getting in trouble quite a lot here. These Dahaka ganks have been really good. Sonya's reacting appropriately by immediately pushing in whichever lane she's in at the time, getting some good value. Lucio going with the extra radius on his Ampit up if two heroes are in the circle when he casts Ampit up.
Yeah, so not going for the more standard party mix, which is a stacking talent, a quest talent, which requires you to basically have your beats up and make your allies benefit from it, and then you increase the radius of it. Kind of cool to see this variation coming in. Once again, we see a very similar Zarya build, by the way, to the one we saw yesterday. Sort of a hybrid build between AoE damage with a bursting shield and a little bit of protection with the block charges gained because of that level 4. I think CE's KTY played the exact same build yesterday.
Correct, and it wrecked completely. And as such, it was played against BTG, and BTG were like, yeah, that was cool, we'll play
pretty
that.
Good.
Yes. Not working as well so far. 619 gets hit by a cocktail and a sword, but easy to see, he's going to be able to heal up pretty quickly.
Now we're basically, or our BTG basically needs to make sure that they either get a kill and get value elsewhere, or they just play it very patiently and soak until 10. However, they're trying to go for that play. Level 10 is right around the corner. I do want to say though, Tetcher, we have the possibility of judgment. Against Lucio, you can nail him down. Also, there would have been no cleanse, but no. They go for the safe route, they go for the sanctification. I like it.
Yeah, standard stuff. Go for the throat, sanctification, ancestral healing, horrify, and isolation. Just all in on killing people, and the Tyrael sanctification just keeping everyone alive. Good stacks, 31 already on that Echo Corruption.
Yeah, really solid. I mean, on maps like Brex's Holdout or Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's oftentimes a little bit easier to farm it due to the way the map is designed with longer laning phases, more enemies consistently being around you or near you. But as you said, not too shabby. Almost there. Only 9 more stacks needed for infinity. Needs to be careful, though, that he doesn't die, because that would kind of suck. It would basically cause him to miss a couple of opportunities. Now, level 10 are just around the corner for BTG. But the Punisher locked in time for RPG.
Yeah, BTG not really rotating very quickly. They're taking their time. They will make it mostly in time, thanks to the minions taking a few shots. Here are their heroics: Expulsion Zone, Leaping Strike, Sound Barrier, Wrath of the Berserker, and question mark? Mosh Pit. There we go. There's an okay amount of CC, but it's really only Dahaka and Gul'dan. And burning Horrify for just Mosh Pit, if there's no one else in the circle, just sucks.
Careful, chicken is low. I think BTG, they smell the cake. They get the Rhaegar, and this is exactly the target they need. The Furious Grip, the sanctification is even better.
Oh, beautiful play. He can't Ancestral himself, though. He's still trapped. No. Nowhere to go. And we do see Rhaegar getting taken out. Everyone else is able to back up, though, but great reaction from BTG to get that kill. Wang is still being chased. Eldruids. There we go. Speed boost. Smite. He's not going to get out. Yeah, he'll still go down.
He still go down, but he takes the minion wave with him. Trade value at least secured, getting a little bit of XP and damage done in his dying breath. But that was a very nice raid here onto RPG. Beyond the game, really going for a nice target prioritization. Rhaegar is exactly the right one to go for. As you said, Tetcher, no more self-ancestral healing, no more self-cleanse, and despite the fact that Sanctification was used well in time, there was nowhere for Rhaegar to go. He was completely surrounded by mean-looking enemies.
Indeed he was. That's such good, completely doomed, and that burnt the Sank cooldown too.
The tongue is good.
It is good. The spear was good too. So Loktar is low, so they can't afford to stay around here for too long. And A is able to tank through, and that's going to be the end of this push.
They got a tower though, which is nice.
For future.
Oh no! He catches everyone. 619. Where's the follow-up?
Where's the follow-up? Down goes Loktar. No, Ancestral lands. Leaping Strike, Horrify, and this is a disaster. They're turning it round. ST getting focused down. The drag is beautiful, but Lucio keeping him healthy, but not enough. The healing's too slow. Loktar microing back.
Loktar, you beautiful man.
Lucio. Chicken doesn't care if he has no health. Sar doesn't care if he has no health. He's the perfect bait. They turn it round, and 619 is going to join his friend in the afterlife. The demon of the map watches on with please.
Oh, that was so well executed by BTG, but it was just not the right time. The good mosh pit, but he came too early. There was not enough follow-up damage. Only the Sonya to join the fray, and the rest took just... Hey, come on.
Kill it!
Hey.
Oh my god, please. Are you serious? Locktar goes down. Wang's getting chased. The keep survived. Just kill the keep. You're dead. Just get it.
What a nice guy.
And boom. What a nice guy.
One word to describe this succession of moments here. China, baby. Okay, I don't even know what to say.
Okay, well, runs up. 2 heroes still dead for RPG, so they're going to be on the defense here. That mosh pit, Beer lands, and just watch him here. Sonya focuses down, but the drag by Dahaka let the Ancestral land. Locktar survives, and then it's just about perfect fighting. Sar, beautiful engagements, another perfect drag. And with ST gone, that's enough damage removed for RPG to win the fight. And then they still managed to lose 2 members because the respawn timers are too low this early in the game. That was without Tyrael most of that fight. You just saw him join at the end of that clip.
And the double Ds here, the double doggos in that team fight just put on a clinic. Rhaegar just surviving with a last-second save there. Then the Greymane Locktar taking a huge chunk of meat off those heroes. Like the Lucio got blown to pieces. Before that, the Lunara got shredded. I really think that Greymane got so much value in here. Nice pull over the wall. Wang actually making it out alive in time. But they need to be careful. No. Oh, mosh pit is actually ready again. Okay, that changes a lot.
This might be a keep. This might be a keep for
I think it is, yeah.
Top keep already down. The second keep dropping low. Expulsion zone puts Sar out of position, but no one follows up on it. Fear is good. What can they make out of this? The damage is huge. Dahaka from behind isolates Lunara. She jumps over him, but ETC already down. The mosh pit is denied. We see A going down. Lunara was able to escape, but A is taken out. And the Punisher, get it, hit it. There we go. Punisher got the keep. Unfortunately, it will die straight away to the core. Keep for a keep, but RPG are looking to try and snowball off of this somehow. If they can catch Lucio, but they can't. He's too quick.
Yeah, if only Lucio wasn't that quick, I think they would have caught any other support here with that speed card, Dahaka, and the Tyrael movement boost as well. Another bloody teamfight won by RPG thanks to flawless execution. That was so well done. The fear hitting all the team members on the side of BTG, followed up by an immediate sanctification, canceling out a huge portion of that mosh pit. It was just a symphony of pain and blood in favor of RPG. Really well done.
Infinity actually missed that catapult with his first fell flame there, so it didn't actually take any damage. But yeah, Kendrick, horrified. Really good ability, as it turns out. Rip Wisp, as it does get taken out as well.
Seems like China should play a little bit more Gul'dan. We've been preaching it for several weeks now. Other regions like EU and Korea have been, you know, jumping on the bandwagon. But yeah, China, hopefully it'll see some play now.
Quite possibly, considering how effective it is a lot of the time. This is very much down a lot to Greymane really being the target due to the amount of aggression he is showing. Even Sars playing very far forward. The amount of support doesn't have to be focused.
Exactly. So what can they do? They're going to try to posture up. Keep in mind, though, that 20 is still a long way. A long distance away here, so there's 2 routes to play this now. They can go for an ambush, and they take the risky path and try to bank on their teamfight prowess. They try to win another one. Or they're going to play it a little bit safer, and they're going to try to disengage, split soak a little bit more, maybe even let BTG have that Punisher to threaten keeps in the bottom lane. Let's see what RPG is going to do. Nice isolation here with that Holy Ground, by the way.
Yeah, and as such, 619's alone, but everyone's taken the long way around, and they've recalled up. Good demounting by Infinity, and as such, they're able to reposition. Dahaka moving down to the mid lane, taking his time there. Looks like they don't want to fully fight over this objective yet. They're very happy to just soak XP so that if they do get the Punisher, they'll be close to 20.
Lucio's healing is not enough, Tencher. That Echo Corruption plus the cocktails by Greymane, they deal so much poke damage. It's crazy. I think they're trying to apply pressure elsewhere. That's exactly what I was suspecting them to do. Like, they give up this Punisher. They do not want to commit to an all-in fight against the Mosh Pit ETC. Locking out. Oh, that was what?
That's not ideal. Yeah, he was a bit slow on the follow-up teleport. But either way, they survive. Difference is, though, A, this entire time has still been clearing the objective. RPG.
Their main goal is training right now.
Bot lane.
Yeah, their main goal is training right now. That's all they want to achieve. They want to soak as much with the Dahaka as they can. They want to buy as much time as well. The blind is good.
A beautiful zoning, expulsion zone there. Rhaegar gets taken out across the map. Sonya will stop chasing her.
Solid.
The poison was down. Down goes due to the beautiful Horrify. Nice disengage by Locktar, but he's kind of trapped.
Solid.
Gets the kill. Can he get out? Locktar.
No way.
Retreat. Locktar lives. And 619 tries to turn it round. He still wants Locktar. Finally gets him with the axe as Chicken is 1v1ing MJ. MJ up against the wall. Gets the armor from his level 13. He survives. And it looks like HGC will live as well. But that's still a 3 for 2 in favor of RPG, who move on to the objective.
And guess what? Infinity on the gold and he survived. He's the most, you know, useful and important wave clearer in those shrine situations. He can use his Fell Flames, even the Echo Corruption, to clear multiple skeletons at the same time. And look how quickly they're catching up to the 24 skeletons secured by BTG already. Now BTG and Lucio and 619, excuse me, they need to clear up this lane. Ideally, RPG is going to buy a little bit of time, leaving 1 minion left, so they can wait for Rhaegar to arrive, they can wait for Locktar on the Grey main, but they don't have a lot of time because Beyond the Game is already contesting. I don't think they can wait for it. There we go.
Yep, they just pick it up straight away.
Nice.
MJ's actually being #1 player killer hero China, but is not able to chase through that holy ground. He has to pull back, and the Punisher does actually catch him on the way. Shield has to be dropped, and they will pull it back. It is the game frame as well, so... Oh, the root is good! Lots of damage! Horrify is used! This is a disaster! ST leaping strike! And the good sound barrier might be enough. Now Sar is out of position. He gets taken down. The Contagion, though, is going to destroy this team fight. Even though they don't have Greymane here. The Greymane not here is actually might cost them, as in he comes, though, cleaning up. But it's still a 3 for 2 to kill the A. There we go.
The 20 upgrade. He has another one.
Trying to deal with it. He wants it. He gets it. Getting the damage onto 619, but 619 is too far away. The Punisher is on the core. Looks like they may just want to try. He's
rooted.
Lucio doesn't have enough damage.
Okay, wrecked, buddy.
Oh my god, get wrecked by the Punisher as Wang moves on to the core with Locktar. It's up to ETC. He has Mosh. He can buy time. He's rooted. He's not got as much time as he thought. The Punisher stuns. Locktar's doing damage. He has so little health. The Punisher's not focusing the core, finally turning it round. And that is GG.
Tetra going for the casting marathon, but well deserved, ladies and gentlemen. That was an explosive ending to that game. The Tyrael Wang going in for the finish right in time, leaving his team very satisfied and relaxed because they needed those 2 points. They can now sleep a lot better. They made sure to take those juicy 3 points home, but what a performance by RPG. The team fighting prowess, it was insane. Locktar showing his best performance on the Greymane up to this day. The 20 upgrade giving him so many more bites. Then of course providing all that support in both of those games. It was just lovely Tetra. And I told you, man, 2-0, they were gonna do it.
They did it. You were right. You have every right to be smug and join me in spamming emotes in chat, because RPG last 2 weeks beginning to show up exactly when it's needed to try and earn that coveted 3rd place spot, and beating the team currently in 3rd place gives a lot of hope in that direction. They still have tough opponents to go. Like we said, they still have to play the 1. They still have to play SPT and CE. That is not an easy path. But RPG, they have been the underdogs this entire time.